the Azir because Aurelion Sol is such a good answer to the Azir. Meanwhile, we are also going to have way more options for Jackie. His Draven is up, his Senna is up.
His Lucian is up again.
No,
yeah.
don't say that. No, we don't.
They forgot.
I don't want to see that anymore.
Nobody say anything.
Yeah, nobody say anything.
Okay, took Senna.
Right, so, I mean, it's like, it's still going to be bad.
I am actually really surprised to see them go more for this Senna, though.
Okay. They have a plan. They had the plan. They're bringing back the Smolder. For everybody who was not completely following why Smolder left is because all the changes. They did make him way more crit reliant and reduce some of the scaling and execute power there. Still very good champion. But I think that we are definitely going to still, well, I don't know, yeah, very good might be a little bit of overstatement.
It's still
serviceable.
In solo queue, yeah, maybe not so much on stages.
It's still a serviceable champion. It's just that you are much more incentivized to go the squishier Essence Reaver rush build, crit build, instead of going the tank build.
And the reason we saw him fall off was because a lot of his innate wave clearance stuff started to fall off, right? But if you're against
the
a
old
Senna,
cooldown, definitely too.
If you're against a Senna, it's like, oh, well, that doesn't really matter as much, right? I'm still going to be able to slowly farm out the wave. I'm not going to be creating this massive weak spot on the map in the same level against the Senna. So I do really like this. The problem is, though, I'm curious where that Ornn's going, because that could be a Senna Ornn down from Mako. We've seen Ornn flex into that position with the Senna. Yeah. And now that could be your go button to start diving this little dragon.
I actually thought they were going to lock that Vi, because Vi is so good versus Smolder at just curb stopping Smolder, because you have Vi ultimate and then you have a
That's a grown woman versus a baby dragon. What are you trying to do?
You have a Vi ultimate holds him in place for the Ornn ultimate to come through, and you just instant one-up combo. But they go for the Zin's out instead for that dueling power again. And of course, Xin is amazing with Senna on the team as well. Allows Xin to just go crazy into the front line. APA is going to grab up his dragon that was unbanned in the early stages, regardless of it being blind into cream, and then try and protection ban versus some of those cream style champions. The Ahri here. Do they, what else do they want to ban out from him?
Well, this is the thing. I think Aurelion Sol is a good answer into Azir, but I think Aurelion Sol blind is a very risky pick because, yeah, you can get rid of some of the Ahris and that kind of stuff, but Cream has a plethora of assassin champions that he is willing to bring out. And yes, you can get some damage in the early stages, but I wouldn't be surprised if Cream brings out something that can do very well now into the Aurelion Sol. And then you're kind of in the same picture as last game where you just didn't really have enough pressure to keep Cream controlled, and he gets to come into this position as not completely taking over the game. He had Jackie Love in hand, but definitely working with Jackie Love to be that menace against Team Liquid.
So the Volibear banned away as well as the Jax. Jax could be played by either Impact or Umti, but as Umti recently got the pentakill on the champion to look damn good. Certainly a favorable matchup it is in. So just trying to make sure that TN has the tools to take over early. On both sides so far, you know, we have a lot of scaling power in terms of the Senna and the Ornn versus the Double Dragon duo on the side of TL, but Vi feels like something that you have to take, but does it just make it so easy for TES to say, oh, how about a quick Tom Kench?
I wouldn't like the Vi on the TL side because you don't want to dive in with the Double Dragons. Usually you're looking for some kite back stuff, but they do already have the Nautilus too, so they opt to go with some dueling power here a little bit early. The Rek'Sai top got those the nerfs to the rage generation and the sustain, but Rek'Sai jungle's still pretty popular with a lot of especially solo queue junglers, but we are going to see it here, of course, in the hands of Umti.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing here, is that you need something that more than likely you're going to see the push coming through in mid lane, especially now with the Corki locked in against the Aurelion Sol, and you can look for these invades with TN if you want to try and get into the face. So having something that's a strong dueler like the Rek'Sai for Umti is going to work out well. Now we just get to figure out if this Ornn is going topside or if it is going to the hands of Mako, which is what I probably suspect here.
Yeah, top esports here. Some pretty good scaling with Corki, Ornn, and Senna all on their team, on their side too. But TL, they're kind of famous for their Double Dragon scaling here. The last lock-in will be the TF. All right, so let's see. What do they R5 counter pick impact into the Twisted Fate?
Using the Rek'Sai flex to now free up a more optimal matchup on the top side of the map, just as TES flex the Ornn down to the support position. How deep does the pool go? What does Impact have to answer the Twisted Fate?
So, because the Nautilus and the Smolder isn't a very aggressive lane, there is always the opportunity to start like moving the TF and Ornn around, depending on the matchup, right? Maybe you go for some sort of lane swap here as well. So I'm really curious to see how this is all going to pan out. But yeah, I could easily see this Senna just end up swapping lanes depending on what the lane swap scenario is going to be, or if we get any. But Either way, I think if you're top esports, pushing mid, pushing top, you have the opportunity to shove in with TF and start to roam, work with TN, try and put the hurt on towards Umti, and a very, very strong bot side that's going to be, our top side that's going to be happy with it, and a farming bot side that's not really going to be able to get destroyed that heavily against something like a double dragon comp on TL.
I think the big concern for me is, can you make it to the point where those dragons are strong?
Yeah.
Right? You look at a Zinzao, you look at a TF, I see simple to execute. TES have also been playing hard to execute, and they've been executing beautifully, so when they simplify it, I get even more nervous. On the side of TL, though, something Smolder, you know, probably something they've been cooking, working on, not something other teams have been playing, have been picking up, so we have to see what their interpretation of the pick is. There's a lot of knowns when it comes to the pick. We know how good it is late game. We know what it can do overall if we get to the later stages. The early game, navigating when this champion is much weaker, is going to be the thing we need to see TL do flawlessly.
All right, Team Liquid, time to turn it around. They've got APA on his Aurelian Soul. See if he starts typing immediately as we get into the game. And he does. Spoiler alert. Good old impact. Impact on the top side, you know, the honorable, good luck, have fun. And then APA immediately comes out. You forgot your third ban, Cream.
TN immediately says, focus, man.
I love how TN came into it like, I'm going to go right at Yappa.
Yep. Wants the yapping to stop.
Okay.
Could just mute him, but would rather just make the prospect of typing anymore feel maybe not so good.
All right, well. They did not survive the Jackie Love Lucian. Let's see if they could survive the Jackie Love Senna.
The good news, a lot less kill pressure in the first few levels of the game.
Yeah. At least Senna has to collect souls.
Oh, wait. This motor snuck in. They just managed to get around the corner. I thought Mako might have just spotted him there, but top esports have set up pretty heavily on this bottom side.
Jan?
Stack.
Getting stacks.
Stack number 1. And then he's taunts.
Thumbs upping.
They got the ward out for the potential lane swap, so TL really wanted to try and figure out where Mako and Jackie Love was. Just unfortunate that Smolder had to use his face to figure out where the two of them were, but either way, it will be the 2v2, which I think TL are going to be very happy about.
Pretty content. Of course, there is the TP for Yawn and Impact. It would be a huge use of resources, but they could rapidly reassign lanes. Trying to protect this third bush here.
Or stacks.
Both sides keen to stack. Ward gonna go down. Hook goes in. Nice unstoppable coming in for Mako, starting with the Bellows Breath just to ensure doesn't fall too far behind in the level 1 trade. But Jackie Love and Mako taking control of the brush, taking control of the lane here. Gonna try to end up with an early advantage.
Also interesting to see 369 not taking the Ghost in the top lane matchup, instead opting in towards the Exhaust. So feels like he's probably going to be the center of attention when it comes towards Umti and Impact, trying to see if they can get Impact ahead on this Rumble. Because when you get to those later team fights, with the potential setup from Core JJ and Umti then to follow up with the knock-up as well, those Rumble ultimates could be the defining factor against a scrap in top esports objectives.
And we'll see if Jackie goes roaming and Mako starts to get some extra solo experience on the Ornn, because he's been able to take, of course, the teleport on the Ornn since he is paired with the Senna on the bottom side. So top still do have 2 teleports to their name, even though they're facing 3.
Exhaust coming out. 369 adapting to the match. We normally see the Ghost, but just does not want to fall prey. That level 2 overheat all in. So extending the trade just to make sure he evens things up.
Yeah, the cannon minion wave there. So, and, you know, stuns him up, gets a lot of the wave aggro there onto Impact. So as Impact is walking away, takes a lot of damage in that.
And look at the Zinza now, immediately coming up towards this top side. They want to look for the dive off this Impact. How much damage can you do to 369 before TN gets here?
Well, Umti's on the way as well.
Impact ready to overheat. 369 about to have gold card again. TN already dashed forward and used the Wind Becomes Lightning, however.
Impact is overheating, though.
He going in, wants to lock up 369. Quick flash forward, flash into safety for 369. One more auto not going to come through, but Impact has a flash of his own. First blood now coming in. Impact, Scrap Shield holding on for a second, but TN going to get a quick kill back, and Umti taking the tunnel.
But the fact that Impact has his TP to get into the lane means he'll be able to pick up the majority of this CS. So Umti able to escape with the tunnel means that it could work out well for TL.
We're going down. Yawn taking a lot of damage from Jackie Love. Not quite going to get finished off there. Trading, of course, means more stacks for the Smolder, but now bullied out of lane is going to be forced to use that teleport.
Yeah, Jackie is famous for being one of the most aggressive Senna players ever. Always on the front lines, always stacking up, always chunking them down, and they do get the teleport out.
I think it's the consistency that we're starting to see from Jackie Love Where he might actually find a court JJ here. Oof.
Quick flashback from CoreJJ, but Jan, he's already reset, he's already back. Jackie Love getting lower and lower. The Smolder looking to grab a kill, the extra bit of healing. He's locked down for just a second. Jackie Love flashes out to safety, blinking health bars, 50 HP remaining, but he will walk away.
I will say, Jan, probably the best Smolder in the LCS as well. They were undefeated with the Smolder. Of course, that was at peak Smolder. Super OP
I
times.
think there's the new era of Smolder where he's maybe not so highly tuned, let's say.
They actually tuned him to be a baby dragon now.
Oh, well. Impact, just a Yordle in a robot suit. He's the one who has to run away now. Gold card, the follow-up again. The simplicity of execution here. Impact, no tools left to escape. Tien not whipping anything this time.
Really good lane game from Tien. Sneaks up into that side brush, and even though Impact wards it out, it's too late. The wind becomes lightning, and Impact becomes gold.
What can TL respond with, though? Cream has to respawn back in base to come into lane. And you could potentially look for a play on that bottom side if you wanted to. They were setting up with a lot of members on the bottom side, but the push isn't quite there for Jan and CoreJJ yet.
Jackie Love and Jan just stack trading left and right. Cream backing up for a brief second, but speaking of stacking, APA doing pretty well here in the mid lane, only going to get easier as he gets more levels under his belt. Quickly pushing that mid wave. We know Corki, especially as we get later in the game, that poke is going to be so hard to deal with. Jan trying to sidestep with a flap. Hook back onto Jackie Love. They know he has no summoners available, but I don't think they have the damage to extend this fight. Mako just so much beefier in a lot of these early exchanges. Root only going to connect onto one. Lock now set down. Jackie Love burning. Ignite ticking. Jan needs to back away. Tien on the way. They might just try to press for the dive here. The Xin is so damn strong.
Yeah, they know he's here. So Jan and CoreJJ just have to buy time for APA to get here. They're baiting.
It's going to try to follow up the hook.
Oh my.
The sidestep from Tien.
APA's on the way. The dragon's coming down, but Jan's just gonna die.
Protect that dragon. Jan's just gonna die. Flashing out, trying to get a bit more damage down. Mako gonna grab the kill. APA on the way in. Has he already burned the flight? It looks like the answer is yes. They will just settle for defending the tower.
Look at the top side, though. wants to try and respond here. 369 won't be able to clear out this wave. No TP available for top esports to try and protect him.
369 about to tick over to level 6, but crucially, they've denied him that last little bit of XP. Oh, have to be careful about wasting their CC too soon. Faster level 6 coming in from Impact. Should be an easy dive. Ignite going down, but Umpty more than happy to try and finish the job. Impact stands back, tanks the aggro, makes sure the dive goes off without a hitch.
Meanwhile, because of the bottom side successful play for TES, they're gonna pick up the first dragon of the game while APA takes over bottom lane. Does push this one out, as on respawn, you get your duo here. Jan and CoreJJ move towards mid.
It's quite an even game state, though, at the moment. The fact that you... Oh, hang on. Oh, no, this is going to go back top. Oh, Umpty!
Trying to contest Umpty. Umpty. I'm going to take him out. We'll secure just a single grub there.
Yeah, I still think you're in a decent spot here as TL. Yes, you've got a minor gold lead coming through for top esports, but the fact you've got great scaling with APA and Jan puts you in a decent spot. You're able to respond to a lot of situations on that top side as well. We already talked about how good Rumble will be if you're able to get him some sort of control in that top side matchup. So for TL, this is a much better game state than what we saw at the same minute mark in the last game.
Yeah, certainly is. A lot of game states better than the game number 1 for them. So
was Jackie Love being 2,000 gold ahead at like 5 minutes bad?
I still think Jan and Core could have avoided a little bit more damage as Tien came through for that bottom side dive. But they'll be happy that it's not even worse this time around. Aurelion Sol quite good at putting a stop to these minion waves.
Cream, not too threatening either. Obviously has the tier, has the coal. 5-10 minutes is going to be a lot scarier, but for now, not much of a threat at all. Impact spotted out here. Jackie Love stepping forward, extra movement speed. Tien, confident flash. The root already connecting. Impact's got nowhere else to go. Red carpet there, but nobody's going to take the invitation. Slowly but surely cut down on the top side of the map.
That is perfect timing. They knew that Impact's flash was enough. Cream gets a lot of attention in mid lane, but I don't think they can look for the dive here on Team Liquid. So Cream will be able to back away, and as about to say, I think top esports had overextended on top side, but with so much used by APA, you can push them off, but I think top esports can still win out in a fight.
Yeah, they do have a smite advantage here for Umpty, so they chase him off, and they're going to grab the second grub for themselves here as they come right back in. And then you get that reset from both 369 as well as the
But I
setup.
think Impact getting caught there was such a massive mistake. You had actually got the push in bot and rotated Yon and Core JJ up, so you would have had the numbers advantage to take the fight, to force them off and find that big win for TL. But with Impact getting caught, you'd get them pushed off, but they still get a Void Grub, and you end up giving that kill across the top esports.
Yeah, Impact gonna be severely behind in this game because of all those top lane shenanigans. The Dragons continue to stack there, though. Jackie as well doing a pretty good job stacking 30 souls for himself in 9 minutes.
I think that's one of the big things, the difference in scaling. Both these champions relatively low impact, Senna of course additionally so because she's not farming, but the utility she offers for a champion like the Xin has been incredibly impactful on this early game, whereas Yanya, the Smolder, not really a lot in the kit other than wave clear, a bit of harass. Can't offer too much yet, but is getting closer and closer. 225, of course, the breakpoint, 125 there as well for a bit of extra AoE to make the stacking faster. But Yon and Core have to be careful. They look for Tian, forced to back off, retreat away from the wave.
He's still coming in behind them, though, and they don't realize it.
Nice sidestep on the one becomes lightning. Quick flap, flap, flap from Yon.
Good response from Umti, though, on the top side. He's just going to steal away all the camps, so making sure that he's still playing heavily into 369, denying him from being able to extend the lead that he has, but 369 still wants to.
369
He knows
up
Umti's
here.
there.
Yeah, 369 has his exhaust and his flash, so gets a little cheeky with some harassment. But
I think it still would have been a little bit dangerous. You can, like, Rek'Sai hits that Q, she owns the
another
bot
root
side.
lance. Jackie Love cannot miss, but the follow-up is not going to connect. Quick flash out from Yon. Calling in Mom for a bit of help to clear the wave and potentially stop the dive, but we've seen this one before, boys. It's a little bit hard for the Smolder, but body block there for JJ. Keeping Tien locked up, Cream on the way down. Yon's got nowhere to go, though. He's gonna flap into the wall, and now it's a double TP. TES have they overstepped. Yon likely to fall. Core JJ gonna drop as well, but APA is here, locking up one member. Mako going unstoppable, but the kill traded back for the side of TL. Ulti only gonna connect onto one. Impact still stepping up, wants to take Cream down. Massive damage from the Rumble, and Tien's trying to turn it back. In the meantime, Jackie Love just continues to auto-attack. Uncontested, the kill there. APA free to reset the flight. One going down. He's giving him the full 360 with another TP coming in. He's already here for the setup. Mako wants one more kill on the APA. He's got more flanked over the knock up there. Mako in the 2v1, but it's not the 2v1 because Jackie Love is still
Another
there.
TP!
Another TP. The fight's not done. No bells are ringing. We're going for round 3, baby. Empty on the run. Core not coming. They're calling it here. That's the end of the skirmish. The poke from Cream, not quite enough.
Time! Everybody chill out! Top lane is where Yon went with his teleport. He's like, I'm not going back to that mess down there. Going back up top side, clean up the rest of these minions, but they're making it exciting this time around. In the end, Top Esports, though, still with the 3,000 gold lead.
And they should be able to reset, get that control, and potentially look for this dragon as well. Although Cream, weird reset timer here. Gonna go back to base, but maybe that opens up TL to try and contest on this dragon because they have multiple members down here.
Okay, they're gonna come over, but it might be a little bit late. I think the damage will be enough here for top. No problem. Finish that one up quickly.
Dragon taken down. We take a look back at who knows which of the 5 minutes of this fight we'll be watching, but it appears we're starting from the beginning, John.
All right, from minute 1, here we go, team fight. Double teleport comes in from TL, trying to fight off under the turret here. As you mentioned, though, both Yon and Core JJ were so low that they pretty much instantly die at the beginning. And then it's the chase from the double solo laners here. As Impact just flashes in, he knows like this is kind of a critical point for TL. They needed to get some money back for themselves, and here comes a 360 from the Dragon. APA cruises in, can't quite get Jackie as Jackie flashes away.
Yeah, Jackie has some plot armor this game. The fact he's managed to flash away against Yon and now APA as well, he just refuses to die to the dragons, but as his spoil grubs are up, TL in the area, and that's a big old ultimate for APA.
Just a reminder that Jackie Love has been scary despite not farming, and it's actually Mako who has all the money. 2,000 gold ahead of Core JJ, as is standard, although a pretty sizable lead. The good news for TL, though, they have the Sky's Descent. They have the empowered Aurelion Soul ultimate. Yon getting closer to that 125 breakpoint, which will only accelerate the rate at which he approaches 225. So scaling with the double dragons, still the name of the game. And for now, TL holding on as 369, just trying to get a few extra plates.
It's the map play from Top Esports, though, which is going to be the problem. As you start to open up and 369 can get this tower, you're already looking at 2 turret plates gone on top side as well. When you're able to push in on these side lanes and avoid a lot of the team fights that are coming from TL, that's where you're going to be under a lot of threat. So I think TL need to start working on how their defensive vision's going to work. Make sure they're spread out across the map so you can spot movements like this and not get caught out by top esports.
One last plate remaining. 15 seconds till it falls away. It seems like TES very determined to secure it for themselves.
This is risky.
Yonic Core walking in. And does have a bit of support here as the tower falls. It becomes a bit more of a risky proposition. Keep your eyes on that TF ulti. Where he's going to go? Yawn off to the backside, not able to do much of anything. Core taken out before there's even any fight to speak of. Though, untouched. Tien about to fall. Here comes Mom for a bit of backup, but it's 369 on the backside. Unprotected. The exhaust on impact is clutch. Jackie coming over the wall with the piercing shadow. And TES take another fight.
And in the top side, Mako solo kills APA as well while we're watching this fight. And Cream now finds Umpty.
Umpty. Good damage here. Doesn't have the ulti. Has the flash, however, but Jackie Love's already on the way. The healing from the Senna probably enough to keep Cream standing, but Jackie Love wants to keep fighting.
Or JJ's here.
Umpty. Or JJ, hook. Sidestep from Jackie Love, not going to work. Knock up, where's it going to go? Tien now going to dash in. Yawn on the way. 122 stacks. Might be able to get a bit more here, but TES. Flawless retreat. They don't give up another member.
Now they have a teleport.
Oh my god!
It doesn't stop.
If they had baited TL in a little bit further into the jungle, then they could have turned that around as well with the teleport coming through, but they are going to call it quits this time around. The objective bounties have spawned on the map here with the giant lead that top esports have accrued already, so that's got to be the goal for Team Liquid. Try and focus on one half of this map here, grab some objective bounties.
This game's class. I'm loving all the TPs that we're seeing. I'm loving that everyone just wants to fight, but here, this is what we were saying, the solo kill coming through from Mako in that top side. Call to the Forge God, catches APA before he gets over the wall. The knock-up as he starts to go into that cosmic flight, and the one-shot potential is just through the roof for this Orin.
Yeah, Mako's done being the supporting cast. He wants to be the main character. As we can see here again in the mid lane. Yon now backing up. And a bit of poke means a few extra stacks, but Jackie Love stacking just as rapidly. 59 about to be 60 for the Senna. Jackie Love unafraid of Umpty. Root will not connect. Tunnel will take him out to safety.
The hilarious thing as well, by the way, that isn't Mako's first solo kill this MSI. He already got one as well against Fnatic, so Mega's popping off, and now he's moving into the mid lane while Tien moves up towards APA in the top side.
Those world champions, pretty good. Pretty good. 5 world champions in this game. Unfortunately, top esports have 3 of them, so
it's a diffy.
What can we do?
But T1 has 5. What do we do?
We saved that problem for G2 Esports. For now, it's TL versus TES, and unsurprisingly, the MasterCard lane economy snapshot favoring TES at this point in the game. But again, a lot of the intangibles, a lot of the power of the TL composition is not in the gold, it's the champions they have chosen. So we'll see.
I do want to point out, because it's so funny, to have a lane economy snapshot and a Senna, fasting Senna, that is a head.
Yeah.
A headed gold as the fasting one. Well,
here comes APA, 369, extra shielding coming over the top, impact taken down. APA going to be forced to use the empowered ulti just to lock up 369. They haven't spotted Jackie Love. Won't go for any follow-up here, but Mom called. Tien and Mako backing away slowly. Of course, they have the Herald in their back pocket if they want to use it, but we'll just set their sights on mid.
It's similar to the last game, though, where top esports get to this point where they're like, cool, we can take these extended skirmishes in a 4 versus 5 scenario. Cream is just pushing on that top side, gets the tower. They go 1 for 1 in that bot trade. They still get a ton of ultimates out of TL. And yes, the Dragon's up, but you're about to lose 2 towers as TL.
Hoping they can force the fight. TP in. Hook, good started off. They got a TP flank off to the side. Jackie Love needs to get the hell out. We'll just back away. Impact. Nice step with the scrap shield, the extra bit of movement speed. Dragon will be secured. They get a TP out of the side of TES, but as you mentioned, Cream on the top side of the map, grabbing yet another tower. Yeah, I'm gonna get hooked though. This is big. APA now coming in. Ulti from the Twisted Fate. They might need to retreat. Umpty waiting. There's no angle for TES to approach. They get the info, but they just don't have the members.
Yeah, 369 just goes to the bottom side instead.
And remember, that is an objective bounty shutdown there, grabbing that dragon. Now with 369 going to the bottom side, he has no flash, but he does have exhaust. Looks like he knows Team Liquid are overloading this side of the map, and he's getting out of there.
He may not get out of there, though. Umpty's coming, and Core JJ over the wall.
Spots the Nautilus. Will not only walk away, he'll take the grub, and now it's the Dragon who's in trouble. Impact throws down the ulti, but it's too late already. Jackie Love just throwing down damage. Mako not even needed, he doesn't push a single button. Champions are just falling down around him. TL looked good on the bottom side, weren't able to find the angle, and TES are quick with the counterpunch.
Umpty trying to stay over the wall, though, see if he can set up for APA. Knows the cream's relatively low, but I just don't think he can take this fight. Mako's huge with Jackie Love behind him.
APA. I think you just have to retreat here. APA forced to flash. Not quite respecting the engage potential of Mako's Ornn.
Umpty's still there. Umpty's still looking for anyone on the exit.
A lot of things happening
He'll
in this
fight
game.
Cream. Does he know it's Cream, though?
Yes.
Remember, Sam?
Surely Mako's footsteps are way more impactful than Cream with a little dog. You
You
know?
don't understand. Ornn studied ballet when he was young.
Oh, okay,
you know,
yeah.
Very light on his feet.
I will say, though, it's sick to see Mako performing this well, because it was him coming off of EDG into top esports was always going to be such a risk. Like, nearly a decade with Edward Gaming, a world championship, an MSI championship, but this man is performing so well alongside Jackie Love and immediately murdering anyone on TL that steps up.
And you can see this fight is so tough. But to build on what you said, Rob, it's not just what Mako has done for top esports, it's also what Mako has done for Jackie Love, right? This duo is so lethal, so consistently oppressive, and it feels like every matchup we have seen so far, certainly in this tournament, and in so many in the LPL as well, they are terrifying. TL are experiencing it firsthand, that even when it's a Senna Ornn, not the Lucian Nami, these guys, you know, are to be feared.
They certainly are. Meanwhile, TL looking again.
Going in, Mako quick retreat out, root onto Core JJ, just a bit of poking and prodding on both sides. Impact stepping up, Cream off to the side, no package, a little bit of lockup onto Mako. Jackie Love and Cream firing back with a bit of poke of their own. Ulti now coming in, Ornn ulti. Brilliant soul ulti, not gonna hit, now it's all falling apart. TES, turn and collapse in an instant. 369 off to the side, gold card locked and ready. Not gonna be able to lock up Jan, but hitting Impact. He goes golden, but he's just setting up for the fall from Cream. The rocket perfectly timed, Cream on a rampage, and that's TN over the wall, flashing with confidence to secure the kill onto APA. Jan just praying for stacks here, trying to clear the wave. TES don't even want to commit for the dive, instead setting their sights on the Baron.
Yeah, I think they're going to be able to get it too, because only Jan and Core JJ, with Jan being so low, teleport up. I mean, Core JJ is going to come out and check, but all you really can do is stand and watch.
TPs.
All right, throw a skill shot in there and hope that there's a
X-Flash.
Oh, Core JJ.
TES, though, not going to take the bait. They don't quite have the information they need to immediately turn on the Core JJ. They got the Baron. They will back away. The map going to reset, but they managed to find the pick. Well timed from Core JJ. Umpty now on the fall. They'll at least be able to take away one Baron buff.
Oh, they're coming back.
Not going to leave a man behind. Mako, the double TP going in. Jan about to hit over to the 225 breakpoint, but it doesn't matter. Jungler already down. Core JJ on the retreat, hooking back to the wall, flashing out. TES ruthless on the turn.
They immediately answer with both TPs.
Herald still.
Well, that thing's going straight down mid. And so is the Baroned up TES squad as Mako tries to chase them through their own jungle. Got his level lead on Jan as well. Where'd that Herald go? There we go. Drive it right on down. Inhibitor tower exploded.
Nice use of the E from APA. Incredible ability for stalling waves, but yet another charge is going to come through. Mako not quite able to get a third charge here as TL doing what they can to hold on. One inhibitor already down. TES got what they came for, shifting their sights now to the bottom side of the map, where 369 is already pushing in.
And you've already got 20 seconds, essentially, until this Dragon comes up. So mid wave is already shoved in, bot wave now shoved in. You basically collect it on the way back out. They're going to look for the reset. It's so difficult for TL to try and respond to any of this right now.
They can't walk up on the tier 2. I mean, maybe they can defend inhibs, they can stall. Big stack breakpoint for Jan, but again, only 1.5 items means, yeah, the kit is favoring you right now, but the items are probably just too far behind.
APA at least collecting enough of Stardust for the empowered ultimate. Again, though, it does have to be like a play where they have giant numbers advantage and you just have the Dragon cruising in over a wall where Core JJ has already locked somebody up, because other than that, TS just too big of a wallet here. Too many items on basically everybody to be able to get some even fights.
Yeah, you need it to be top esports. Everyone's grouped up. Everyone gets hit by the center portion of APA's ultimate. Immediately knocks up. Impact following over the top of his ult. Yon coming in with Mob. Like this massive AoE wombo combo to try and hit before TN gets his ult off. But it's just so difficult because Top Esports aren't playing as one big unit. They're attacking multiple different side lanes. You can see now pushing top as mid is shoved in, and 369 is now drifting across into that mid lane as well.
Umpty finding a little bit of poke that he can. You can see the execution threshold on Jackie Love's health bar, but they're very far away from that point. This ulti from APA has to be flawless. Hook in from Core JJ, not immediately going to connect, but that's the ulti onto Jackie Love. Yon can't get in the back line, and Cream immediately going to respond. Yes, the Senna doesn't have the damage, but the Corki sure as hell does. Instant follow-up from 369, the double kill for the Twisted Fate. TES going for the end in an instant. They shut down TL, their hopes of scaling, their hopes of getting these dragons into a powerful state, and they will move on to match point in the first best of 5 of MSI 2024.
Top Esports, pretty good team, pretty good team. What do you think our chances for the reverse sweep are?
I just thought we would only see Drakes getting bodied on Twitter, but here we are at MSI. A lot of them going down that game, I can say. With the Aurelion Soul as well as the Smolder. You know, it looked a little bit better. It wasn't quite as dominant.
It wasn't as quick.
It was, you know what? It was, yeah, it was.
Well, actually, it was 24 minutes. What was the first one? Pretty quick.
All right. I will say we just have to hope that TL have something else up their sleeve. Can rally, can focus, but right now, TES feel like a tall challenge for any team, and TL certainly experiencing that firsthand.
I think the problem is that Top Esports kind of got shook by Fnatic, where they've now come into this and gone, we cannot let the same thing happen. We were sloppy, we got caught out, and we have seen one or two minor errors, you know, 369 getting caught out on weird resets.